Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, November 5th, Election Day, 2024. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm DrydenWire founder Ben Dryden, and you're watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, his locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today, see what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Pretty good, I think. It's election day. Are people more excited for it being election day, or they're more excited for it to be over?
I think everybody's excited for it to be over, but everybody wants their candidate to win. So
yeah, we should talk about that. Good morning, Sharon, and good morning, Dirk. Hey, speaking of elections, so we'll do our NFL picks here in a minute, and then that's what we'll be talking about today is election. We'll do some of our election predictions, sure to go wrong for our area, including the presidential race. I have no idea where this is going to land. And just kind of have a conversation just about where we are as, you know, as humans and as a society. I think that would be a good conversation to have.
Red, white, and blue Mountain Dew.
Liberty, what does it say? Liberty chill?
Liberty chill, because I'm chilling today. I don't know.
Marketing. I love it. You know what? You've missed your calling. You should have gone into marketing.
I did miss my calling. I should have been in advertising. I should have been in marketing.
Yeah, you love that stuff. Like anything new, you're like, oh, I'll try it.
They had purple Mountain Dew. Now I'm like, okay.
Sure, don't even like it, but hey, I'll try it. Hey, how did it go? Interestingly, I didn't see any news stories about this. I'm sure maybe locally, but I don't really check a lot of our local news outlets. But JFK Jr., not JFK Jr., what is his name?
RFK.
Kennedy. Yeah, RFK.
RFK.
Yeah, he was in Rice Lake. What?
Yeah. Tell me about it. We weren't even alerted to it. I found out from the media. I talked to a member of the Republican Party and said, hey, are you going to tell me about this? And they're like, we don't know what you're talking about. So they didn't tell anybody that they were coming. They just decided to come. And
wait a minute, hold on. So this event was on Saturday?
Yep.
So
I learned about it at 4 o'clock Friday afternoon. 3:58.
Are you serious? And good morning, Patty. And Matt and Patrick, one of our favorite attorneys. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, happy election day. So you're saying that the RFK Jr. is coming to town,
right,
on Saturday, and you find out Friday late afternoon,
right? And I don't know when they decided to come to town. Obviously,
I saw posts up for like Republican Party before that.
Well, no, because they didn't learn about it until maybe it was a little earlier than 4, but it wasn't much earlier than 4. So
that's weird.
Yeah, we ended up having some people there. There was no issues.
Wait, hold on. So back up real quick. So you get to call it, or you find out, you get this confirmed around 4:30, whatever. Now what? Is it like, do you want us to have everybody there, like every overtime for everyone to cover? Or they're like, no, we got this. You know, if you want to have someone there, fine. Did they demand, or not demand, did they have requests for, here's what we want you to do?
I never had a contact with anybody from that team. So they didn't call us. They didn't request anything. Now, I'm not saying they didn't from the city of Rice Lake, but some of our people went just because we go to stuff like that.
Yeah.
We go to all events, and, you know, when the governor comes to town, we send people. They didn't request anything either, usually when the governor comes to town. But yeah, it all worked out. We did help. They had some screening, some people. They asked us if we could help on, and our team did some of that, but that was it. There was no issues, no problems. We did not call anybody in. It didn't cost us any overtime. My chief deputy went, and our on-duty people. We weren't on any calls. I know Rice Lake PD stopped there, but that's it. We helped screen some people. I didn't think there was, I would guess, 500 to 600 people there.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I heard there's a long line. I saw Mike Schaefer had put something on his page showing how long the line was. Oh, Mac Patrick, the city of Red Wing, Minnesota turned down $10,000 for an RFK visit because proper paperwork was not filed time. Oh, I didn't even know he had to do paperwork. Like, I don't know anything about that world.
Yeah, neither do I. I mean, I would assume they had a contract with the college, and because it was at the UW ECBC campus. I know they were aware of it. I don't know when they learned about it, but no one needed, and that's because he doesn't have Secret Service protection anymore. So he has his own private security. So that's a reason why you didn't, they don't have any money to give us. When presidential visits come, they're supposed to pay for the overtime costs. Some people don't pay.
I didn't know that.
I know that Trump still owes, I think it was Eau Claire some money, if I believe that's correct.
That sounds about right. Seems
that was from the last election. No, I don't think it was from this election.
And he still owes.
I think there's outstanding bills that campaigns don't pay. Either they close the account and these bills go. I don't know how it works. A presidential candidate has never came here where I knew that there was a bill.
Sure.
So,
all right. Well, we'll get into more election stuff. Let's get our NFL picks out of the way. So here's where we are through week 9.
Great.
What?
Did I get any right last week?
Yeah, you got 1 out of 4.
That's awesome.
I had 3 out of 4, and honestly, I would have had one of those wrong. But at the very end, if you remember, when we were doing our picks, I said, "Fine, I'll take the Jets." And you're like, "No, I'll take the Jets." I'm like, "No, it's fine, I'll take them," assuming they were going to lose, and they ended up winning. So didn't see that coming. All right, so here it is for this week. Thursday night game: Bengals at Ravens. The Ravens are favored by 6. It looks like they're a powerhouse, but then again, 2 weeks ago they lost to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
The Bengals are in the AFC. Ravens should win this game, but I'm going to pick an upset here. I'm going to go with the Bengals.
I'll take the Ravens.
Okay. Next up, 49ers and Bucks. I think we both know where we're going with this, right? You're a Bucks homer, and I'm a 49ers homer. Now, here's the thing.
Bucks should have won last night. I mean, they could have won. I think they should have won for 2 last night.
Yep.
They had them on the ropes at the end. They should have won for 2. I know they regret that. They had nothing to lose by going for 2.
Yeah.
I would have won for 2.
Here's the thing about the Bucks. When Baker Mayfield, you can count on him to throw 1 or 2 interceptions a game. Last night he didn't. If the Bucks right now, they could play 75% of the league and they could compete and they could beat anybody as long as he doesn't have more than 1 turnover. But then you get against the hard teams like the Chiefs. If you don't throw any interceptions, they got a chance to win any game. They only start getting into trouble when he starts throwing several interceptions because he's kind of prone to do that. So I think the Bucks is. I'm shocked that San Francisco is a 6.5 point line spread. I really am. I thought, or the 49ers. I really thought the Bucks. This should be like a 3.5, not a 6.5. So I'll go 49ers. You'll go Bucks. But yeah, if he doesn't turn the ball over, they should win that game.
Right.
All right. So we'll go to the Jets and the Cardinals. Cardinals are favored by 1. I think I'm picking the Jets. I think they are just every game. If we lose one more game, we're out of the playoffs. We got nothing to lose. So I'm gonna technically pick an upset here. I'm gonna go to the Jets. Who do you have?
I'll take the Cardinals just to try to get some points back.
Do you think the Jets will actually win that game?
I think the Jets are coming on. I just don't know if they can put it all together.
I agree. All right. So far we all 3 of ours are different, and the last one. Dolphins and Rams. Dolphins. I'm going to go the Dolphins on this one. The Rams, by the way, they should win this. I think that their line of 2.5 should be higher, to be honest. Because when they have Cooper Kupp back, that team is a different team, and he is just a phenomenal receiver. Nobody talks about him, but they absolutely should. The Rams should win it, but I'm going to go upset here because I can't see the Dolphins going 2-7. Who do you have?
I'll take the Rams, and the Dolphins coach gets fired at the end of the game when they lose.
What?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to keep him. There's something fishy going on with the Dolphins, and I think they get rid of their coach.
Fishy going on with the Dolphins? Really?
You get it?
Really?
Last time I talked about the Dolphins, I made the national news.
I forgot all about that. Oh, I forgot all about that. For our longtime listeners, they'll get that reference. Oh, boy, let's not go down that rabbit hole. All right, let's get to our election prediction. Should it go wrong, we'll do that in 15 seconds after a word from Spooner Health.
Spooner Health, compassion is at the center of everything we do. It's rooted in who we are and why we're here. It unites us as providers, neighbors, and as a community. Learn more at spoonerhealth.com.
Great reference, Matt. Laces Out Dan. Remember that? Did you see that movie?
No.
Wasn't it Ace Ventura? Wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, Ace Ventura.
Yeah, Laces Out Dan. That was a good one. Good reference, Matt. All right. So we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know where to speak. Oh, yes. All right. Stop with the references. Those are funny. 7 to do. We'll get to the present very last, but let's start locally. So of our 6 counties, Barron, Burnett, Polk, Russ, Sawyer, and Washburn counties that we kind of cover, we're just looking at those. There's no Senate races in our district. That'll be in 2 more years because they're the odd numbers right now. So Assembly, we have 4. The 67th, 68th, 74th, and 75th. The 67th would, according to the models, is actually all 4 of these are pretty much solid red districts. So we can save a lot of time and just say Republicans are going to win them all, but quickly we'll go through them. 67th, the incumbent is a Republican in a solid Republican district. That's the old 87th with Jimmy Boy. Rob Summerfield's the incumbent. I don't know the challenger. The only reason I even know Rob Summerfield's name is because he's already a legislator, but I don't even know what he looks like. I'm going Rob Summerfield, or I should just say Republican on that one.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, 68th, that's in your area. That is the former 75th. That is Dave Armstrong. So for our purposes, that's Barron County, but that's, obviously it's a larger district than that. I think parts of Dunn and something else.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So again, it's a large Republican. Yep, there you go. Republicans.
And I don't think that one has nothing. I would say that it has nothing to do with Democrats or Republicans.
Yeah, that's interesting. I agree with you on that. Yes.
I think Dave has been for a lot of people, and I know I'm friends with Dave, and that's not why I'm saying this. I'm saying I think the guy's name is Jeff Foster.
Yes.
I don't think he put enough time and effort into this campaign. And that's our frustration with any of it doesn't matter what side you're on. You've got to be all in on these campaigns. You've got to be, people don't even know who the guy is. I do because I belong to both parties and I understand it, and he's great.
I run DrydenWire, which covers that area, and I didn't even know the person's name.
Right. So, and that's what I mean. He should have been on your show. He should have been. That's what these people need to reach out and do this. And that frustrates me. If you're a candidate for a position, you need to be all in or all out. You can't do this. Well, I'll do it because someone asked me.
I'll throw my name in the ring, throw it in the hat.
Be all in. And that's what Dave and Romaine, and again, it's not because they're Republicans or Democrats. It's because they care about the people. You don't have to like everything about every candidate. No one does. No one likes everything I do as sheriff. I think I'm a very popular sheriff.
What?
No one likes everything I do. So
I disagree. Everyone loves everything that you do.
Yeah.
Unless you say something about dolphins, then.
So, but Dave wins the 68th.
Yeah.
I want to be a big swing. I don't think that's a straight party. Whatever the straight party vote is, I
think that's going to be more. I do. I 100% agree. I think it's going to be. I think it's like a 59% or 57%, but he should probably get in the 60s in terms of voting, and that's because of the candidate.
Whatever the presidential spread is, you'll see a larger spread for like Dave on that one.
100%. The 74th, that is for our area, that would be Sawyer and Washburn counties. Now, that also covers the rural areas of, I think, Douglas and Ashland and maybe a little Iron. I can't remember. But for our purposes, it's going to be Sawyer and Washburn. So, interestingly, Chance Green, again, the incumbent, it is a right-leaning, close to pretty much being a solid red. It's around a 55% district for Republicans. But Jeannie Bruce, we had her on the show, and she was great. She was a former Washburn County Board Supervisor. She lost her election for board back in April. But she's a Spooner lady, native, Washburn County, and that is a new county for Chance Green. I feel like she's actually going to win Washburn County, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to overcome the other ones. And he's the incumbent, and it's a Republican district, on paper anyway. I'm going to be watching that one just to see the Washburn County turnout for that. But again, I'm going to go Chance Green, or I should say Republican.
I'll take the Democrat just to throw it
just
out
an upset. I love it. If there is going to be an upset, I think that one could be, or it would be the 70. What's that?
And again, I heard a little bit about Chance Green. I don't know anything.
Right. You don't know anything about either one of them.
Yeah. Right, but he's the incumbent, so it's really tough to beat an incumbent unless he's not doing something.
An incumbent and in a Republican district.
Right, and you're in a Republican district, so yeah. So I'll take the Democrat on that one just to play along, but I think Chaz Green probably wins.
Love it. Then the 75th is Duke Tucker, which I mean, he's a super.
Love the
He's a
name.
hard. He's got a great name. He was born to go into politics.
Right.
But he's from Burnett. I'm going to be watching this one too, not to see necessarily the turnout. Jane Kleiss is his opponent. She was on a show. She was also brilliant, and Duke was as well. But he's from. It's also a very heavy Republican district. But Burnett County is a third of the size of Polk, and this is basically Burnett and Polk County. He's going to win Burnett by a ton. So honestly, even in Polk County, where she's from, well, where she lives, she's not like native to the area. Even if she wins Polk County by like 5 points, she's still going to lose that. No, it's another one that Duke should absolutely, or I should say the Republicans should win by a lot. Right. So, yeah, again, I'm going to go Republican on that one too. So we're going to have another, I mean, these fair maps, I'm just saying, they're not even competitive. Or on paper, they're not competitive. We'll find out tonight how competitive they are.
Barron County is really a 50-50 county. I mean, if you look, we're the tightest of the counties we mentioned. I think Barron County is the tightest Democrat-Republican.
Yeah.
Equalization, if you want to say, or whatever you want to say, it's probably leans a little bit more.
It is a purple county, right? A little more Republican, yeah.
Little, but not by the spread.
Not a ton.
Away. Right. The margin of error, whatever they say.
Our margin of error. Yeah, margin of error plus or minus 20 points or something. it's like forecasts, right? It's like chance of rain or snow or sun or I don't know, just
chance of rain.
It should be 50 degrees plus or minus 30 degrees. There, I covered it. But Barron County is interesting. Now you brought that up. So you run as a Democrat, and you win. When's the last time you had an opponent?
14 years ago.
What? Really?
That was the last. Yeah, I actually was a memory this week on a memory. 14 years ago, I had an opponent.
Wow. Well, that's telling. Either that means that people think that they couldn't win, or that you're doing a good job. Probably because they think you're doing a good job. But that's weird. I would just assume that somebody would be like, screw it, why not? But still, you're a Democrat, and everybody loves you. Romaine Quinn was in, Barron County when he was in the assembly, and you had just mentioned Dave Armstrong. Mm-hmm. Barron County seems to actually elect the people who they think are the best, and it isn't quite as much as if it's an R or a D next to your name. Now, maybe that's simplifying it, but that's interesting if you start looking at all the D's and the R's next to people's names who win and win by a lot.
Right. That's what I mean. Dave's going to win by more. If you look at the presidential spread, and Dave will win by more than that.
Yeah. Well, wow.
That means people aren't straight ticketing, which is the way they shouldn't be.
Right.
You shouldn't just go into the box and check one box. You should vote for the person that's good. And I have a lot of Republican support. A lot of Republicans vote for me. But I've had people that said on both sides, I'll never vote for a Republican. I'll never vote for a Democrat, so I can't vote for you because you're not on that side of the ticket, even though I think you're the greatest sheriff of all time. And that's just wrong. You shouldn't do that.
That's
you
stupid.
Can't. That's why. Right. And so and people are changing. And that's what the process, the democratic process has worked. People are using their voice and using their choice. And it's worked. So, yeah, for me, it's worked really well. I've said I'm everybody's sheriff. I go to Republican events. I go to Democratic events. I'm for all the people, no matter who you are. We work through problems together, and that's why I love what I get to do every day.
Yeah, so I looked into it a couple of days ago, why sheriffs in Wisconsin are partisan. Because we've talked about it before, we both think they shouldn't be. And I kind of find out that is obviously it's not a constitution, a United States Constitution. It's a state constitution. And it actually doesn't even say in the Constitution that, in Wisconsin's Constitution, that the sheriffs have to be partisan. It just says that you have to be on the ballot during the partisan election. So therefore, by default, you are going to have to be partisan, have a D or an R. But it doesn't actually say that you have to be partisan. It's just that's how it worked out. But that's weird because then I looked at the judges, Supreme Court, Appellate Court, and our county circuit courts. We're one of only, I think, 11 states that are nonpartisan. And it just doesn't make any sense. We have a district attorney's office, partisan. Judges, no. Sheriffs, yes. And it's all right. Can we at least get all of them to be one or all of them to be none? That's weird, right?
Right. I agree. And so, you don't
think that sheriffs should be partisan or on a partisan election?
And that has to do with money. It's funny. I'm following a sheriff out in Arizona. who originally is from Barron County. He's running for sheriff out in the county in Arizona.
Wow.
He's called me a couple times and talked to me about how I got support from both sides of the aisle, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So he hopefully he wins tonight. He's going against an incumbent, but out there they have a big independent swing, and he ran as an independent.
Good.
And so he put an I next to his name. He's not a D or an R, and he's running against an R. And I'm very curious if he wins. There's a lot of issues out there. They have a lot of issues about body cam use. The current sheriff doesn't. Yeah. So, and it was really interesting to talk about that with him. But yeah, well, good luck to him tonight.
Is Arizona, they're dealing with a lot of immigration, so that's a different conversation now.
Yeah, and he's near that border.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting.
Well, Sheriff Finch ran as and is an independent.
Yeah.
And she ran because as an independent, because she says, I don't think it should be partisan. And that's my way of saying, yeah, it shouldn't be.
It'd be the one thing you could do, but I don't change.
Well, you can't change now. That'd be weird.
People want me to. I get asked all the time. I'll get asked tomorrow after this election and be like, hey, look at this side is 5% more in Barron County. I think you should jump to this side. But I'm like, I've been doing this for this long. Why change now? I'm everybody's sheriff.
Yeah, that would be kind of weird.
It wouldn't be. It would be. But whatever. It's just go out and vote, make a difference.
Yeah. All right. So now we have our 7th CD. So our state races, our Congress, which would be the 7th Congressional District, and then Senate, and then we'll do President. 7th Congressional District, Tom Tiffany. His opponent is Claiborne or Kilborn, something.
Craig? Is it Kilborn?
Craig Kilborn or Craig Claiborne. I can't remember. Yeah. So your prediction there?
That one's I don't know. I mean, obviously,
I'll tell you right now, it's about a 53 to 50. I think it's like a 53 or 55% Republican district. It definitely is. I mean, nobody's even talking about the national news that this will be close at all. This will be. My guess would be this would be like a 57-43, and that would be giving it conservatively. And plus, like the money that they raised, it was like, I don't know, almost $1 million for Tom Tiffany and like $20,000 for the other.
I think it'll be a little closer than probably Tom thinks. Just because there's some negativity out there, but I think Tom wins that one. That's not going to be an issue. Yeah,
here's another one. Barron High School alumni. Oh, that's Santa Cruz.
It's not California though. It's Arizona. I'm pretty sure it's Arizona, Matt. That's Travis Arnold. Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah,
I'll look it up.
I think it's Arizona though, not California.
Oh, speaking of Tom Tiffany negative campaign stuff, hey, let me ask you something. How much is the price of a stamp?
What is it, 52 cents or 50?
Wow. Just calling it right now, $8.55 on November 5th. That is going to be used against you if somebody runs against you in 2 years, Fitzy. You didn't know that. Because someone sent me a link. So, Tom Tiffany comes on the show because he's our 7th Congressional District representative. I don't care if it's Republican, Democrat, whoever. I don't care. But he comes on our show once a month. And last month he was on, we were talking about a bill that he had introduced. I don't remember why. I don't want to get in the weeds on that. And it was about post office thing and something, whatever. And I just happened to bring up, I'm like, post office, like stamps. Like, I can't remember the last time I've been to a post office. Shoot, you know what? I don't even think I know how much a stamp is. Like, because Mrs. Dryden here in the house does all the, sending all the bills.
I have a forever stamp, I think. So I'm still got forever stamps. So
I forgot about those. Yeah. And plus, how many people go and just buy a single stamp? They're just going to go and buy, like a roll or whatever, if they still do those. Anyway, so
Is it?
So I said, what are they, like 25 cents? That's the last time I remember. And he goes,
I knew they were.
I think they're like 53. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Well, apparently his opponent used that as put on his Facebook page, he was talking about it. He's basically like, how out of touch is your congressman? He doesn't even know the price of a stamp. Now, he didn't say it that way. He said it in his regular voice. But he might as well have said that and then just like had devil horns morphing out of his head and how out of touch is he? I'm like, what? Apparently it's 73 cents.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's what he said. It's 73. Anyway, so I just thought that was so funny. I'm like, of all the things to go after somebody for, he doesn't know the price of a stamp.
Stamp is 73 cents at the post office. Wow.
Yeah,
And 69 if you buy and print stamps online. It's 69 cents if you buy and print them online.
Well, I'm sorry. I just gave your future opponent ammunition. How out of touch is Sheriff Fitzgerald? He doesn't even know the price of a stamp. You got me. But still, you go and you buy a roll of them. You know, who goes to buy a single stamp? Whatever. Who's ever listening, if you actually know, if you knew how much the price of a stamp was at 73 cents, please put that in the comments and we'll give you an attaboy. Because who knows that? And who cares?
That was at July 14, 2024. It went to 73 cents. Think about how much money has been spent on this election at 73 cents. Now, they buy it in bulk. I know it's cheaper when you buy it in bulk. But man, how much the post office made billions of dollars.
Yeah, Patty knew. All right. Had a girl.
Patty knew. Way to go, Patty.
Yeah, I literally did not. All right, next one is the Wisconsin Senate. That is Tammy Baldwin and Eric Hovde. That was considered a race that was unwinnable for a Republican a year ago. Like, no way at all. Holy buckets. In the last probably almost 3 months, it has been getting closer and closer, and every week, every poll is getting closer, and now it is a virtual tie. Who do you have on that one? And by the way, Eric Hovde is killing it. He is going everywhere. He's been in our area. He has put in the work. But
Tammy Baldwin will win.
Me too. I think so.
That one's going to go with the way that the presidential goes in Wisconsin. It's going to be close, but that one's going to be the exact same spread. If you vote for Trump, you're voting for Hovde. If you're voting for Biden, you're voting for Baldwin. It'll be that close as they call Wisconsin.
I think that she'll win by, I don't know. I think she'll win by a little bit more than the presidential one, but I don't know. That'll be tough. Again, if the race was another 3 weeks longer, jeepers. I'm not sure where it would end, considering if you look at that the map and how it's the two line charts and how they've gotten closer and closer and closer, and now it's a virtual tie. That's a tough one. I'm going to say Baldwin because she's the incumbent, but that's a toss-up for me. I have no idea, which of course leads to our presidential election. I mean, 2 or 3 months ago, you and I both said in the show, it's done, over, right? Harris is going to win, no questions asked. Same thing. Wow, that is now a virtual toss-up as well. Who do you think is going to win that one?
I think Harris will win. I think it'll be close. I think she still wins. I think people want to see just some different thing, something different. I don't think they want them. I mean, he's got some good policies. I mean, it's who you like, what you want. Yeah. I think she wins Wisconsin barely. I think she wins the election barely.
So I don't know if that one it's a toss up, but what I'm rooting for is a dumpster fire. I am. I mean, let's just steer into it. I mean, our political system, especially a presidential race, this is so screwed up. It's gotten so bad. And it's not going to get better. I do find it interesting, though, that 4 years ago, America didn't want Kamala Harris to run for president. Mm-hmm. And we voted to not have Donald Trump our president. And yet there are those are the two people on the ballot 4 years later. That's so weird. Nobody wanted them 4 years ago. And now those are our two. That's weird.
Right. But we've said that in the beginning, is that these aren't either choice is not the choice. But there isn't. No one wants these jobs. And from the county board level on up to city councils and county boards, you look at it. Yeah. I mean, and you look at who wants them, and that you can't even appoint people to them, and no one appointments stay open. It's because of Facebook, and it's more than Facebook, but because you can hide behind that and say you suck and you this.
Well, I think it's because of media in general, and social media falls under that umbrella.
Social media, not so much media, but
I agree.
To a degree media. But
I agree.
Right. I think no one wants to be under that microscope.
We all want to be liked. And just to know that people are just going to hate you without even knowing you, who wants that?
I struggle with that still today.
Me too. We've talked about that. Yes. I hate it. I hate getting the emails that tell me that I suck and you're just the worst. And, I understand that the people that are sending it, these are not the people that I respect. They're idiots. But it still hurts, man. It still stings. It just does.
And if you're at that level, I mean, the Romains and Daves, this is that level. And I mean, and how many people just literally won't even shake your hand at the grocery store because of
come on.
something you said or did or the way you voted. And like, hey, if you want it, run. But no one wants these positions. And the people that want them aren't doing it for, I'm not saying in any of these cases, but these people that want to become the sheriff or want to become the county board aren't running for the right reasons. What's very interesting, and I'd love to see it, and I saw it last night. Our budget passed the county board last night, 29-1. I'm sorry, 26-1. There was 3 absences. 25-1. There was 3 absences, or something like that. Whatever the number was, one person voted against it because of one issue. But what I like is those people that got on county board have learned so much, and I think you'll admit to that.
In just 7 months, I've learned a lot. Yeah,
right. And what people have got on say, I'm not going to do this, and I'm not going to this and that and this. And then they realize, whoa, that's not how it is. Mm-mm. It's not so easy sitting in the chair versus sitting in the audience.
Yes.
And I love it. And I think, we had a great budget last night. Jeff French and Jody Bush, our financial person for the county director, finance director, did a great job with our budget. We passed our budget. We've got everything. We gave the library back their money. We gave the fair back their money. We gave the museum back their money. All these cuts. The auditorium had people in it last night. I enjoy that. Usually I'm the only guy sitting there watching these meetings. It's a great meeting. Democracy stood strong last night. People made a difference, and people got what they wanted, or at least some people got what they wanted. Yeah. I'm sure there's people mad that they gave their money back and their taxes went up $1.50 or whatever it did. Yeah. So I'm sure there's mad people, but they weren't in the room. So I don't know what to tell you, but the people that got on for one mission realize there's a whole bigger pot than one thing. So
yeah, I've always thought that if I could be in the proverbial fly in the wall in one room at one given time, my answer is always the same. It's the morning that a president, after getting elected, that actually wakes up on the morning that after they're sworn in, like when they actually find out, like all those things that they were promised, and you know what, and we do this, and and this has happened with Republicans and Democrats, and Barack Obama, and he gets in, I'm going to pull everyone out of Afghanistan, I'm going to close down Guantanamo, I'm going to do this and this, and yet none of those things happen. At the very beginning, it's like day one, I'm going to do this, and they don't. Why? Because that's when they're actually informed of what's really going on, and going, oh snap, I can't actually do any of that, and these are all serving this purpose, so I can't. So yeah, anybody that actually runs for office, kudos to you. It's.
Right.
We need more people that are willing to do that. And whether it's stupid if you're not going to give someone a handshake that runs. Right. We absolutely should be giving them handshakes. Even if you don't like them, it doesn't matter. Or if they voted on something, as you had mentioned, that you wouldn't have voted on or you didn't support. Hey, man, somebody that's running for something like that and putting themselves out there, you absolutely should do that. There's a question in here. So if I'm assuming Kamala Harris, implements mandatory gun buyback, are you willing to go against our Second Amendment rights and take them from us?
Yeah, I'm not going to take people's guns out of their homes. There you go.
So I don't understand that. So that means a mandatory what is a gun buyback?
I assume she's saying if you have, let's just say, a 9mm, it's not. Let's just use that example and she said nobody can have a 9mm anymore, but you turn your guns in and we'll buy them back. And you don't turn your 9mm in. Am I going to go to your house and get your 9mm? I am not going to go to your house and get your 9mm. So,
would you think that? I mean,
why? That's just
why wouldn't you? And then is that something? Wouldn't that have to be like like a law? Then you would have to follow that law, wouldn't you?
Well, you would if I found you with it outside your home, but I'm not going to do a search warrant, search your home. The federal government can do that. We won't be doing that as local law enforcement, and that's not going to happen. It's again an issue. You can't just come up and say, I want to, like somebody said, close Lincoln Hills. That has to get voted on by the Assembly and the Senate. And they have to agree to that. You just can't, as the president and as the county board chair and as the mayor and as the whatever you are, you can go into some ideas and you can direct people, but the council gets the vote. The county board gets the vote. Jeff French could want whatever he wants in the county 29 people have to agree to that, or 50% of the
I see. And that's what Matt was
that.
saying. Right.
Right.
That Tony Evers had said, I'm closing Lincoln Hills. And yet, yeah, it's still there. Right. So you can say all these things, and a lot of people don't realize that. And I'm not banging on Kamala Harris here. It's just the Kamala Harris has said, I'm doing this and this, and I'm going to do this and this. And nobody seems to be actually asking the question, but how are you going to do that? Because it actually takes Congress to actually get that done. You can't actually get that done. So we have one side that's promising a whole bunch of stuff, and the other side, which is just, trust me, I know what I'm doing. Yeah, it doesn't give a lot of confidence for either side.
Neither. I mean, and I say this in general terms, I know it, but no matter who the president is tomorrow, isn't going to change what Ben and Chris do tomorrow.
No, none.
I mean, in the long run, it might when we file our taxes, but that still all has to go through Congress. It has to go through the Senate. It has to go through the House. So, yeah, I don't. So, I get it, and it doesn't matter. But I mean,
it does, but it doesn't. Honestly, I still think the local elections are where it's at. Your city council, 100%. It starts literally with your city council, right there. Then it goes to your county board, and then you just branch out regionally, right? Then it's, of course, then the assembly, and then it's the Senate, et cetera. But even mayor's races.
We were going to cut the library last night. We, being the Barron County Board of Supervisors, they were going to cut the libraries. They actually voted a month ago to cut the libraries to 70% funding, because that's the state mandate. I mean, the state mandate is 70%. It's all how you check out a book and the money you get back. There's a big Act 150, and there's a lot. It's way too. I'm on the library board. I understand it enough to be dangerous, but the county board voted. The libraries did a very good, education into educating people on what the library does, and they gave the money back, and they gave them a 1% more. Man,
see, look, you're getting all emotional about it. I love it.
I have to sneeze.
Okay. Yeah. The men of the White House just with the worker jobs a week. So, yeah, there's a part of that too, right? Yep. Look, what we're doing. That's why, again, locally is. I just hope that the all the divisiveness in a presidential election. I just really hope that doesn't bleed down into our local elections, right? Because what we don't want to see is these local races. Now, granted, those are nonpartisan, city council and county board, but even though we have DA races, those are partisan. Sheriff's races, those are partisan. Judges, for some reason, aren't partisan. But you kind of know anyway. But they are. Yeah, exactly.
We're friends. We're friends with a lot of judges, and you look at, our Supreme Court races. They're not partisan. They're very partisan.
Well, even in Washburn County, right? And I'll just use that because I happen to know Angie Winton, Judge Winton, is the judge, but she ran as a district attorney and as a Democrat. So I'm pretty sure she all of a sudden didn't become a Republican. But at the same time, I don't think that she really cares. I mean, your job is to, it's about the law, right? What does it have to? I don't know. I don't want to get too far into that. It's just weird. I just hope that these presidential things and the divisiveness that we have doesn't bleed down into our local races when we need more people to do this locally. And that's really where a lot of this is. You're right. Presidential race, that's a big deal. It's a huge deal.
Right.
But it doesn't affect you nearly as much as these local races do on your daily average life. The local, the issues that are happening locally are much more important.
Right. 100%. I agree with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Abortion, all those, the border, those are all big issues.
Yes.
But it affects us, and it could when it takes jobs away and all this other stuff. But raising your local taxes and closing a library or not closing a library or
building a jail or not building a jail or just not making a decision.
We're not doing nothing.
Or whatever.
Just let it ride. See what happens.
Let it ride.
So, just go vote, make a difference, and tomorrow we wake up as a country together is all we can hope for. And we'll stop getting text messages and ads, and you can go back to watching DrydenWire for fun.
Yeah. Awesome. So going back to what I'm hoping is just the dumpster fire version. If Kamala Harris wins, how about if Donald Trump wins, I hope that Kamala Harris wins the the popular vote. And then he wins the electoral college, because then that will, now we have to demand, because that would be the third time now that a popular vote person didn't win and they're all Democrats, right? Wasn't it Al Gore and Hillary Clinton? Those are the other two in the last 30 or 50 years. So that would take an act of, we have to change the United States Constitution, which we typically don't like amending our Constitution. So that would just be great for storylines and dumpster fire for the next 4 years. Or if Kamala Harris wins, I hope she wins by just the narrowest, like the closest margin in the history of an election. Because if you thought that election was stolen 4 years ago was a thing, oh my goodness.
Well, I just hope we don't have the same problem.
We're totally going to, which is why I love it. I'm just going to embrace it. Like the Titanic, there's an iceberg, just gas it, man. Just give her. Go right towards it. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping this is going to just be the absolute worst everything. So then maybe we can actually make some changes, because if we keep doing it this way, holy cow. Yeah. But no, let's just dump some more money into it. There's another $1 billion. Yeah,
let's let them. We'll go with the funding, our plan of everybody just gets $1 million to spend. That's it.
Love it. Love it. All right. Yeah. Here, speaking of Dirk, I just saw him comment in there. Here is our Dirk Miller, our official weather person's official forecast today: 45 to 50, rain, chilly, 35 to 40 tonight. So looking to lows all week across the bottom. Nice. It doesn't really get down into super cold. Doesn't get hot. This actually seems like today will rain, tomorrow mostly cloudy, then some sunny, mostly sun. All right.
Not raining. Oh, it must have rained. It's wet out. So.
Yeah. It actually looks like a pretty decent fall week.
Yeah. Very good. Mow your grass one more time before it snows.
Really?
Pick up the leaves. I don't know. I mowed mine Saturday.
What?
That's all the leaves. Well, you got to pick up the leaves.
I just blew them somewhere else. Blew them in the neighbor's yard.
Blew them in the street. Those Spooner cops.
Not my problem anymore. Yep. All right. Are you going to stay up are you going to any election things tonight? I'm sure there's events everywhere.
We have a security plan in place for tonight and for all of the polls. Just act nice at the polls and be cordial, and a lot of volunteers out there. And thank you to all the poll workers. And yes, I will be at the county clerk's office making sure the results come in and no one bothers that. And then they'll post the results and we'll go home, and hopefully we'll be home by 10 o'clock.
Hey, did you see that? Oh, shoot. I forgot to put that up this morning. It's too late now. Rusk County has a town that's going to have some federal people there in one of the cities. No. There's 3 cities in Wisconsin. Oh, shoot. Oh, It's too late. I can't. I could try to look it up, but it may be a bad town of. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to try it anyway. So it may slow down our stream here for a second. But there it is. Apple. Have you heard about that?
I don't know. That guy just put Thornapple. TJ.
That could be. That very well could be. Is it the Eastern District? Hold on. I'll get to it. Compliance, Milwaukee federal judge. No. Shoot. You know what's the Western District? Wisconsin. That would be Western District, Wisconsin Department of Justice. News. Federal Justice Department will monitor federal. There it is. I'm a female. Got it. U.S. Attorney announces that Federal Justice Department will monitor federal voting rights compliance in Wisconsin for November 5th. And department personnel will observe elections in the town of Lawrence, town of Thornapple, and city of Wausau. So, there's a whole thing on it. I'll send you the link to it. And I was just wondering if you'd heard about that and why? Why? I don't know. But that means federal people are going to be there. Or, Federal Justice Department is going to be monitored. I don't know if they'll actually be in person or not. But, election integrity is going to be a big thing after this. I cannot wait for the stories tomorrow.
The clerks are doing a good job.
They're doing an amazing job, as always.
So keep doing it, and thank you for what you do, and go make a difference today. Yep. And tomorrow we'll be in America together. Sounds like I'm running for.
Oh, yeah. So the 2 are in Rusk County is because they did not have voting machines.
Oh.
Interesting. Maybe it was TJ that somebody sent us an email about this. And I forgot to look into it. Wausau, because, I remember that one. Wausau's because of the mayor removed. That's a Jeepers. So Alex Zimmerman is going to be on the show this Thursday. Speaking of election stuff, Alex Zimmerman, so he'll be on the show Thursday morning at 8:30 right here on DrydenWire's Facebook page. He is He works for Platform Communications, but he's like a political strategist. He's been on campaigns. He was comms, which for Rebecca Clayfish. He's been on a lot of state races in the past, and he's going to break down the results and what does that mean and project. I mean, he's going to explain all these things that I don't understand. So that'll be on Thursday. We were going to schedule it for tomorrow, right after the election, but I'm like, I don't even know how many of these things we're really going to know, because I think there's going to be a lot of close races. So let's wait till Thursday. So that's what I have coming up on Thursday. What about you this week?
Just a couple of meetings, nothing spectacular, nothing exciting. As long as today goes well, we'll be great.
Well, right, because there's going to be civil war after today.
Right, that's right.
I saw that on social media. So
go vote. Everybody chill.
Just chill out, jeepers. Dude, chill. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm DrydenWire founder Ben Dryden, and you've been watching Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today. See what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy and I are off next week.
I can be here now.
I can't be.
Okay, perfect. Well, I have another thing, but my other thing got canceled, but I could have made it, but that's fine. We'll take off next
I've
week.
got a daytime Washburn County Board meeting, or a monthly meeting.
Budget.
What?
You got to pass the budget.
That's not what it's. Is that it?
It's a daytime meeting. I think it's it's mandated by that you have to have it during the day for some reason.
What? Oh,
It's
all right.
state statute.
Well, that's at 9:00 next Tuesday. So
You need to be there, pass the budget, give the cops more money. I don't know.
oh, law enforcement. All right, so anyway,
All right.
that's a whole other thing. So we won't be on, and then the following week we are going to be, and I'll put up a post about this. We're going to actually be exclusive on YouTube. We're going to try that out for a week or two. Then we might be doing like multi-streams going forward, but we're going to try something a little bit different. We'll have an announcement up. So for next Tuesday, we will announce that we're not going to be doing the show, but then also make sure you go to our YouTube channel, which is just youtube.com/DrydenWire. Make sure you hit subscribe and like, so then you can get notified when we go live in 2 weeks. So until then, we're taking a 13-day, 23-hour and 15-minute break. So until next time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a blessed day.